Just another day in WA, firing waves, offshore conditions, and big matchups in the lineup here for the second round. Filipe Toledo takes on. Let's see what kind of start he can get off to here. Swinging into this one. Drives off the bottom. Nice stylish first turn. Just flowing, waiting for this thing to stand up. And he's going to opt out of the end section and paddle back out rather than take the ski.
I would have liked him to see finish him that way rather than kicking out, but either way.
Here we go. Joan Duru gets a chance now on this opening exchange. He's going to take his right through to the inside. Nice backhand approach that he has. Saw glimpses of it on the Gold Coast. He did fall out of the mix pretty early, but he had some high-scoring rides. So waiting on the numbers to come through. Probably pretty close on the opening exchange there.
As you take a look at Joan Duru, so this is a second wave or third wave of the set. You can see the foam left over. Not a big set wave, but he had that nice critical section. We'll see if the judges took note of the fact that he connected with the lip both on his first move and his last. Filipe's a little cleaner face. Well, similar. Like I said, I like the way his board looked through these maneuvers. Very smooth, drivey through it. And a very similar exchange, just separated by about a half a point. So prevalent of what is going to be a quality wave. Super hard to distinguish.
Here we go, the rookie taking off on the inside here without priority. Looking for a backup number. And right behind him, Filipe. With maybe a better looking wall on the outside. And he digs into some solid moves. So showing that he can get it done with a little bit more room to move and hang on to that end section hit. Wasn't a solid move, but it always helps when you get that completion.
A bigger wave kind of outside of your competitor and do moves like that. It's a nice adjust off the lip. It was the second maneuver was much stronger there as he lays into it. You see that technique where he gets that arm across the body. You know, right there somehow hangs on. That's so hard to do. Keep your board under your feet. But that technique.
I just think too, there's been a couple of surfers this morning that look like they're really figuring out the conditions and their equipment. And Filipe on that occasion, he just went from one turn straight into the next. No bobble, obviously it was a cleaner face that he had to work with, but he just looked like he was really feeling it.
Yeah, well, and in here you got Joan, really the midsection of that wave was.
And it is Filipe who's having a look at this one without priority. Still waiting on the numbers for that last exchange. But Toledo knows that there's some opportunity here on the inside. And he's just flowing through these turns. Keeping that board moving, doing what he can. He knows that he hasn't had any major moves just yet. But he gets a tidy finish there. And at this point in time, he's really just trying to better the 4.67. He understands that it's probably not going to go excellent. He knows he's taking off on a mediocre wave, but
I mean, that's a quick turnaround.
Well, his last number has dropped for that previous ride, 7.33.
I mean, there's a almost 2.5 point difference. This is the last wave here, trying to better the 4.67. But I mean, I really like how Filipe has dialed in his equipment. That adjustment has been pretty easy for him. Riding the Marcio Zuvi surfboards. Been working very closely with them now, both of them living in Southern California. So you have a shaper that's right down the road, and you can dial in your equipment, you know, because that can, we all know, you know, we're parents. You get to focus on your loved ones.
Well, some promising signs from Filipe here. He's had 3 pretty decent rides now. His last match.
Infelizmente foi contra brasileiro Jadson, mas eu tô ainda na briga e espero a torcida de vocês. Um abraço.
Thank you, Strada. Adriano He adapts better than a lot of people, and he's done that in the past to get a victory. Farah's looked very good. He's got the highest scoring ride of this heat, a 7.33, and he's taking off at the moment, looking to drop a 4.67 to move further ahead of the Frenchman. Nice first turn. Really looking sharp at the moment. Hit a bump there, but recovered well. Bringing it through to the inside now, just cuts that turn a little short in order to beat that whitewater out onto the flats.
Good read.
That should beat the 4.67, Pete.
Was a pretty unique and committed turn. Beautiful arc here. How's the canvas? The wind is starting to kind of lighten up as it's warmed up on the land. But there, that little bump, but he was able to twist through it. And again, knowing full well that he has to get that turn done early. And the whitewater still feels like it wanted to push him out from under his feet, push the board out.
That end section too. We saw Joel Parkinson get away from the pocket of the wave, the right-hander, get over to the left, the oncoming left earlier, and throw a big roundhouse. That allowed him to avoid the impact of the two waves meeting and still get a major turn done.
Good, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a great way, a great technique. You know, I loved how Filipe was able to arc that first turn because his angle and approach too was, whereas if you start getting more up in 11:30, 12 o'clock, judges take note of that.
Filipe got a 6.77, so Joan Duru now needs an 8.77 from this wave. He grabs the rail and pulls in. He's locked in, but this thing is starting to pinch. He's not going to find the exit. And Filipe, he might just benefit from that error because he's been swooping on these second waves in the set and turning them into pretty decent numbers so far. And there is the combination of two beautiful turns. And again, just doesn't dance with the whitewater on that occasion.
A little bit bigger swell, it kind of centralizes on the reef. I mean, look at the size of this set wave here. Double overhead, beautiful arc. You see there, a little bit of different approach with that layback angle, but that carve right there was beauty. And then there, nice little strong snap, but again, cutting it short, making sure that he gets that maneuver done before the whitewater.
And Filipe just looking right in this heat as well, celebrating that last ride. Love how he just banked on that bottom turn after this first carve. Barton Lynch watching on closely and loving what he's seeing from Filipe. Beautiful second carve. Definitely tactically a sharp heat, Barton, from Filipe so far.
Way. And it is pumping out here, as Pete just alluded to. That wind has dropped right down. It's dropped at least by half. It's buttery and smooth. We're peeling layers off out here because it's getting hotter by the second, and it's turning into one of those days where you just love to be a surfer, and to be on the WSL and doing the tour and competing in waves like this is such a gift. The shame is, I suppose, that to position for the rights, you're definitely going to miss the lefts. If you position for the lefts, you're going to miss the rights. So you've got to make a decision one way or another. But we saw on that set then, some of the lefts are coming through with beautiful wall as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see when a guy's got priority, to see the other guy start to take advantage of some of those lefts, because I suppose you don't want the big peaky ones. You want those ones that hold the water, hold that swell until they come in on the reef, and then they square up and give you those opportunities to get up and down. There are some lefts doing that, the majority of the rights, but boys, it is so beautiful out here right now. That wind is, like I said, it's buttery, it's smooth, and the conditions really are about as good as they could be.
Hey Bart, in regards to those lefts, and we really haven't seen anybody kind of even sniff it out yet, but at that higher tide,
On in that heat, mentally and physically, great performance, some solid turns. Everyone always likes to really address the fact that Filipe hasn't had huge results in big waves.